Hello, Pete Gelman here. I'd like to discuss with you my theory that baseball offers a natural, dramatic structure, and I'll tell you how that impacted my design of the Rally Bird baseball board game. So you may recall discussing what dramatic structure is in literature in late grammar school, perhaps the same year you learned to write a haiku. The basic idea is you start out with some exposition. You introduce the characters, tell a little bit about what's going on, but you don't have the hard conflict yet. And then there's rising action of conflict, and followed by a big climactic battle of some kind, confrontation, not necessarily a literal battle, falling action, and then a little bit of exposition at the end of the new situation. Fancy word they use in literature is denouement. I think, okay, so you've seen this in, take the classic Star Wars. I guess that's number 4 in the grand scheme. So obviously the destruction of the Death Star is the great conflict. And maybe the moment when Millennium Falcon comes in to rescue Luke. That could be the actual pinnacle, followed by a little bit less of the battle here, and then there's the award ceremony. And you could even consider stories telling little sections, like in the Star Wars movie. The first section or chapter is the Imperial warship chasing the transport carrying Leia, and she puts the plans to the Death Star in R2-D2. You could say that little chapter has this structure. So let's see if I could draw this. You could think of the whole story built as a series of these. I don't know if I could draw this. Well, you get the idea. Something like this. Building to the dramatic action, the conflict there. Something like that. Keep you interested in each little scene. And I think baseball is a lot like that. You can think of each inning as having its own mini dramatic structure and overall dramatic structure. It's centered on the pitching, because modern day pitching, it's rare for a pitcher to pitch a whole game. I don't think old timers care for that so much, but that's just a fact, and let's accept it. So we're humans with 10 fingers, and most of us have 10 toes as well, so 100 pitches seems to be the easy benchmark to see how many pitches a pitcher can pitch before losing effectiveness and needing replacement. But the number can be any number. It could be 50, very commonly 80, could be 110. And commentators take note of, will the coach take the pitcher out now? Pitched 101 pitches. And if a coach makes a decision to keep the pitcher in for 120 pitches and the pitcher does well, the coaches praise for that, and it gives an extra day of rest to some of the middle relievers and so on. Could go the other direction. And of course there's always looming injuries, because pitchers are often kind of fragile, the kind of stress they put on their body. So let's just say approximately 100 pitches. Where does that happen? In a kind of having a hard time writing sideways here, but well, I'm trying to write something else besides hieroglyphics. Okay, 9-inning game. Right around 6-7. That's when the starting reliever typically runs out of steam and needs replacement. And once you start doing relievers, anything can happen. It often changes the character of the game dramatically. All of a sudden, it's like a whole new game. And when I'm watching my team and they're not doing well, I say, well, just try to wear out that pitcher and let's get to the relievers. And it's one way I focus on the game. When I do score booking, I keep track of how many pitches they do. It's the little number on the side here, 3, 6, 10, and so on. Here are the pitchers at 93. And I write the number of the pitcher on top here. So in the 7th inning, this is Nationals against the Mets, July 9th, 2016. I was there, and 7th inning, after Daniel Murphy hit a home run to get revenge at the Mets for trading him, he scored 2 runs, and they replaced the pitcher. Boom, chicka boom. Dramatic structure. And look here, can you see this little graph here? I wrote this dramatic structure here on my scorebook. I was explaining to my friends I was sitting with, and what else I wrote? My friend predicted a win in 81 pitches. That was a little joke. Mets fans cheer Harper hurt by ball at second base. Yeah, Citi Field, not being local, when I visit Citi Field, I think I'm going back in time to the Roman Coliseum. That's the spirit of the stadium. In some ways, that's really delightful. There's so much energy. Mets fan throws crackers at me. Yeah, because I was wearing the hat and shirt of the opposing team. Ramos, get in the box. It's just a random thing yelled by a fan of the Mets, and I don't see anything wrong with that. Sit down FU on 3rd strike. Met fans booing Nats fan who caught ball. Okay, so I went a little digression there because of the joy of scorebooking when attending a game. I can't recommend it enough. Get yourself a good firm book. But enough of that. So how did this impact the board game design? Well, I thought one of the design goals of the game was to allow the players to have a complete game in about an hour. And exciting, easy, quick to play, but meaningful decisions for both offense and defense. But for the hour part, I felt like I had to drill down on 3 innings. So right around here, change of the pitcher. Now that's not literally part of the game. You're not changing the pitcher, but in my mind, when I was thinking, well, I'm giving the people who buy the game, they're getting all the equipment they need to play a full 9-inning game. But if they want a quick 1-hour game, it's very common in our busy lives to not want to give a whole lot of time to things that we enjoy, sadly. But it's realistic. You could ask a friend, let's play this game. We've got an hour. Okay, so I recommend you start in the 7th inning, play 7, 8, 9, and you get a good, satisfying game. And I even include commitment to play extra innings if that so happens. That's my story. Baseball's dramatic structure. Thank you.